Good morning, children. So after the completion of the third chapter, so that is a theory part. Okay, we have completed the the complete chapter. So after the human reproduction chapter, we have to discuss about the competitive part. So today we will start the discussion with respect to the competitive part. Okay, yeah. So in that one first question, see this question that is related to the human reproductive system. During the 8th month of pregnancy, tests descend into scrotal sac through. See, there are 4 options they have given: Hauersen canal, central canal, umbilical cord, inguinal canal. So this question is actually, which comes under the topic human reproductive system, specifically during embryonical development it comes. Okay. So this is actually, see, observe the question. That means 8th month of pregnancy, tests descend into scrotal sac through. So which is generally descend means, that means extended towards. Okay, yeah. So this can be seen in, that is, inguinal canal. Okay, yeah. You can identify the diagram also. In diagram you can identify this one. Next question, the second one. So this question is also related to the topic human reproductive system. I told you in the beginning also, when we are discussing the particular questions, you should know that question which comes under the specifically which topic. It is also known as logic distractor, so that we can easily identify the questions. So here, odd man out, that means which of the following. Okay, if you see this, all these structures, we should identify the odd man. Okay, yeah. So out of these 5 options they have given: epididymis, that is bulbulin gland, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, corpus glands. While we are discussing about the structure of the male reproductive system, we were discussed about bulbourethral gland. We were not discussed about the Bartholin gland. Do you remember? Yes. So remaining all these things which comes under the, all these labels comes under the topic the male reproductive system. That's why that is Bartholin glands is odd one. Do you got it? Yes? Yeah. So next question. So this is also related to the topic human reproductive system. Here the diagrammatic representation of the male reproductive system is given. You should identify the given labels so that after you can go towards the options also. Here the A is actually glans penis, isn't it? B is the foreskin. Then C is actually, what is this? Yes, that is seminiferous tubules. Then after that one, the D, yes, D is nothing but bladder. Then E, yes, E is ureter, isn't it? Then what about the F? F is actually, that is epididymis along with seminiferous tubules, isn't it? Then G, the G is nothing but urethra. Now just match these labels with respect to the options. Option B is the right answer. Yes, as I said, here they have given the glans penis. Whatever they have given in the questions. Okay, sequence order. You should identify the label parts in the sequence order. That is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, that is a glans penis, foreskin, epididymis, urinary bladder, then vas deferens, testicular lobules, urethra. Okay, yeah. In textbook, the diagram is given, right? There you can identify the labels also. Okay. Yeah. The next question, select the wrong statement. Okay. So this statement is related to the, that means structure of female reproductive system. So here we should identify the wrong statement. Ovum produces estrogen progesterone. First of all, ovum does not produce any hormones, isn't it? What they have given? Ovum produces estrogen and progesterone. That's why this statement is wrong. The remaining and all true only, because ovary contains many group of ovarian follicle. Glans penis is covered by a, that is prepuce, that is comes from the male reproductive system. Outer wall of the, that is uterus is perimetrium. Yes, it's correct, isn't it? Yeah. Next question. In most mammals, the tests are located in scrotal sac. For, see, while we are discussing about the structure of the male reproductive system, and also while we are discussing about the spermatogenesis, we were discussed that for, the test where it is exactly located. Okay, so they are located in the scrotal sac, isn't it? For what purpose? For the purpose of spermatogenesis, isn't it? Why? While we are discussing the spermatogenesis, we said that the temperature is very important, isn't it? What is the temperature? Yes, compared to the normal body temperature, isn't it? It should be less than that. Do you remember while we were discussing about the spermatogenesis, we told that one, isn't it? Yeah. So that's why here where it is located, it is located in the scrotal sac. Okay. Yes. The next question, the labia minora. It is also related to the human reproductive system. There are two structures. Well, we are discussing in the beginning. I told you, and you maybe remember that one, labia minora and labia majora, isn't it? Yeah. So these structures where we discussed, where they are discussing about the structure of female reproductive system, isn't it? Do you remember? Yes, here. So labia minora is actually where it is comes under the female external genitalia. It is commonly known as vulva, isn't it? The labia minora is actually hairless inner folds of vagina. Do you remember? Then what about the labia majora? The labia majora are fleshy folds or tissue which extend down from the mons pubis and surrounded vaginal opening. Did you got it? Yes. Next, seventh question. This is also related to the human reproductive system only. Analyze the following statements. What they have given? There are 4 statements they have given. Hymen is a reliable indicator of virginity. Then, second statement, milk is stored in alveoli. Third statement, clitoris is the counterpart of penis. Next statement, the release of ovum is called oogenesis. See, out of these 4 statements, see, option A is the right answer because only statements B and C are true. The remaining, the first statement, the hymen is not actually, not a reliable indicator of virginity, because when we are discussing, I told you, because of some, generally, if they are physically active, there may be possibility of damage of the hymen, isn't it? So because of only, this condition only. Okay, so that means it can also be broken by sudden fall or jolt, insertion of vaginal tamper, active participation of some sports like horse riding, riding cycle. So that's why. So in fact, the presence or absence of hymen is not a criteria for virginity or sexual experience. Did you got it? Then what about the last D? The release of ovum is called oogenesis. See, it is actually not a oogenesis. The releasing of ovum is nothing but ovulation. Okay, the whole process, the production of the complete process will be comes under oogenesis, isn't it? The production of the female gamete actually. Yeah, so that's why option A is the right answer. The next question. This is also related to the human reproductive system. The optimum temperature. Yes, in the beginning, while I am discussing about the earlier questions, I told the optimum temperature for sperm production. You know, normal body temperature of the human, which above, yes, 37 degrees centigrade. But generally, for the optimum, that is for a proper production of the scrotum helps in maintaining the low temperature of the test, that is 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade. That is lower than normal internal body temperature, isn't it? For what purpose? It is necessary. That optimum temperature is necessary for proper production of spermatogenesis. Did you got it? Yeah. So that is, if it is normal body temperature is 37, less than that means so 33 to 35. Okay. That is the optimum. So that means maximum number of sperms are produced. Next question, the ninth one. The function of seminal plasma. You know, while we are discussing about the semen, I told what is that seminal plasma? Yes, actually the transportation. It is helps in the transportation, nourishment, also neutralize the acidity in uterus, right? Isn't it? So that's why. So the seminal plasma, the function of seminal plasma, all of these or all of above. Because I told you the semen is a slightly alkaline fluid. The pH is about 7.2 to 7.6, containing sperms and male reproductive accessory gland secretion, that is produced by a male during copulation. And remember, the seminal plasma along with sperms constitute the semen, isn't it? Yes. The next question. See here actually this question, the duct system. The duct. Well, we are discussing about the, so this is comes under the female reproductive system, isn't it? The duct system of the female reproductive system, which is includes the, what it will be? Yes, that is a pair of ovaries and pair of oviducts. Also, it is also known as the fallopian tube, uterus, cervix, vagina, and external genitalia, isn't it? Out of these four statements is the right one. Option A is the right answer. Okay. Yes. So while we are discussing this type of the question, we should identify the, yes, that means most appropriate answers. So mons pubis, vestibule, clitoris, it is comes under the external genitalia. That's why it is the wrong one. Option A is the right answer. Yes, next question, the 11th one. Testosterone is produced by, yes, actually what is this testosterone? Yes, the testosterone is nothing but the male sex hormone. Okay, so while we are discussing about the diagrammatic sectional view of the seminiferous tubule, I told you about the hormones. The region between adjacent seminiferous tubules is called interstitial spaces, contains small blood vessels and interstitial cells. They are also known as Leydig cells, isn't it? Which synthesize and secrete the testicular hormone called androgen or testosterone. It is also known as male sex hormone. Which is the right option now? Option C is the right option. Next question. Select the correct order from outer to inner. See, this question they can also ask as a outer to inner or inner to outer also. Okay, so if you see the structure of the female reproductive system, you can identify, isn't it? So that is perimetrium means outermost one, middle one myometrium, inner endometrium. If they ask question like this, from inner to outer means it should be vice versa, endometrium, myometrium, perimetrium will become. Yes, this question is related to the structure of female reproductive system. The next question is also related to human reproductive system only. They select the correct sequence. See, as I said, when it comes to the topic or the exact logic distract, this question is related to the structure of mammary glands. Okay, so that you should remember the diagrammatic or sectional view of the mammary glands. Then only you can identify the such a type of the questions. Yes, the mammillary alveoli, that is alveolus, the plural form alveoli, then mammary tubule, that is tubule, mammary duct, mammary ampulla, lactiferous duct. So this is actually when we will discuss, yes, the secretion of the milk in the beginning from the cells of the alveoli secretes the milk which is stored in a, that is alveoli. Then alveoli opens into the mammary tubules. Later the tubule of each lobe joins to form a mammary duct. Later the several mammary duct joins to form a wider mammary ampulla which is connected to the lactiferous duct, isn't it? Through which milk is sucked out by baby. Yeah, so this is the sequence of the production of the milk also, or we can also say the secretion of the milk. Next question. So this is also related to the question structure of mammary glands. The mammary glands are paired structures that contains dash variable amount of dash. That is nothing but the mammary glands are paired structures that contain glandular tissue, isn't it? The mammary, it is glands are paired with, it is glandular tissue and variable amount of, that is fat, isn't it? While we are discussing about the structure, I told you a functional mammary gland is a characteristic feature of all female mammals. When it will become active? Yes, after the pregnancy, isn't it? Yes. Next question. This question is related to the gametogenesis, isn't it? Yes. 15th. For producing 1000 sperms and 250 eggs, they require. See, if they ask such a type of the question, you should remember the process as well as the phenomena. See, when it comes to the production of the sperms, it is related to the spermatogenesis. When it comes to the production of eggs means, it is related to the oogenesis. Okay. What they have asked here, the question for producing 1000 sperms they have given. Then 250 eggs. You know, while we are discussing the spermatogenesis, beginning from a single sperm mother cell, finally it will be give stage to the 4 sperms, isn't it? That means 1 will become 4, isn't it? 4 will become 16. So that means the 25% will become 100%. The 250 primary oocytes, sure, it will be gives rise to 1000 sperm. And what about the eggs? See, while we are discussing about the oogenesis, I told you Of course, it is undergo meiosis, but the thing is, one egg mother cell, this oogonium, finally will be give stage to only one ovum, because finally, so that means the polar bodies will be get eliminated, isn't it? That means degenerates. Finally, what will be remains? Yes, whatever the number the egg mother cells or oogonium will be produces the same number of the ovum, isn't it? Yeah. So that's why the 250 eggs, they came from 250 primary oocytes, then the remaining. Yeah. So now you can identify easily 1000 spermatids. Yes, spermatids is nothing but, you know very well that what is a spermatid? Just before they get converted to sperms, same number, the sperms and spermatid will be same in number. Yes, and here the duration. Okay, so whatever it may be, numbers will be beginning with the, so finally we should identify secondary oocytes. See, secondary oocytes, what will be the number? Already it is become half of its number, then it will be, so that means 250 during secondary oocyte it will be 500. When it will be become the 500 secondary spermatocytes will be give stage to the 1000. So this is the process behind this question. Did you got it? I think it's clear. No need of confusion. The next question, here it is also related to the gametogenesis. Select the odd one out. What they have given? Yeah, primary spermatocyte, spermatid, secondary spermatocyte, spermatozoa. See, if they give such a type of the question, here we should identify the chromosome number or ploidy. The primary spermatocyte is 2n in number, isn't it? The spermatid is n. Secondary oocyte is also, secondary spermatocyte is also n. And spermatozoa is also n. But the primary spermatocyte is 2n. So that's why this is the odd one. Next, 70th question. This question is also related to the gametogenesis. The stage seen closest to the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. Yes, that is, you can easily say spermatozoa. Yeah. Why it will be considered spermatozoa? It is look like a, that means zoa means animal reproductive structures. That's why we are also known as spermatozoa. Did you got it? Yeah. What actually we should identify here? The stage is seen closer to the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. When we are discussing about the production of the sperms, I told you almost all which is very near, isn't it? Seminiferous tubule. The spermatozoa, it is actually the embedded, isn't it? Then the head will be very close. The stage seen closer to the lumen means the empty space. So that is spermatozoa. For the, to understand this question, we should see the diagrammatic representation of seminiferous tubule of testis, so that you can identify. The next question, gametogenesis. The both corpus luteum and macula lutea, or so it is actually where it comes. Yes, while we are discussing about the case of the ovary showing various stages of follicular development, we will discuss, isn't it? Yes. So that means from the beginning, if you identify after the ovulation what will happen? Yes, characterized by the corpus luteum, the collapsed follicle becomes the corpus luteum, then the corpus luteum matures if fertilization occurs. Finally, corpus luteum degenerates if fertilization fails, isn't it? So, how we can identify? It will be turned into the yellow color, isn't it? Yeah. Next question. This is also related to the gametogenesis. Select the wrong statement. Here you should identify the wrong statements. See, just read the statements so that you can identify. Acrosome is formed from the Golgi complex and has the lactic enzymes such as hyaluronidase and zonalcin. Yes. So this question, sometimes this statement only they can have the composition of the acrosome like that. It's a right statement. Then the human male ejaculates. A healthy human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms during coitus. Yes, it's correct. Spermatids undergo mitosis. It's a false. See, while we are discussing about the spermatogenesis, I told the spermatids will not further undergo. Already the spermatids are because of meiosis. Okay, so then there will be no further division. It will just transform. The spermatid will be transformed, which is undergoes spermatogenesis, and it will give the sperms. But they not undergo any type of the cell division. Here what they have given, spermatids undergo mitosis to form sperm. That's why it is a wrong statement. Okay. Then the next statement, theca externa and theca interna is a peculiarity of the tertiary follicle. Yes, that is also true only. Isn't it? Well, we're studying about the structure of graphene follicle, I told you. Next question. In male, FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone, acts on sertoli cells. Isn't it? Well, we are discussing about that is hormonal influence or hormonal importance, I told you. So there are two hormones, LH and FSH. That is LH, luteinizing hormone, acts on Leydig cells, stimulates the synthesis of secretion of androgen, isn't it? But when it comes to the follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, acts on sertoli cells and stimulates the secretion of some factors which helps in the spermiogenesis. Did you got it? Yes. Hormonal influence. When it comes to the hormonal influence, you can identify. Next question. This is related to the gametogenesis. In the differentiation of spermatids into sperm is called spermiogenesis. This is related to the definition of the spermiogenesis. It is a process, isn't it? What do you call that spermiogenesis? The transformation or differentiation of spermatid into spermatozoa or sperms is called spermiogenesis. Where it occurs? It occurs actually under influence of FSH inside the seminiferous tubules. Isn't it? Yeah. Then the next question, so this is a diagrammatic sectional view of the seminiferous tubule of testis. You should identify the correct sequence of the cells becoming differentiated. Yeah. If you see from order wise, P is nothing but spermatogonium, isn't it? Then Q is a primary oocyte. Then what about the R? R is a secondary spermatocyte. Then what about the T? T is spermatid. Then S is the spermatozoa. Isn't it? Next question. Release of ovum from graphene follicle is called ovulation. Yeah, the process actually, while we are discussing about the process, I told you what is ovulation. Yeah, you can also say the rupture of a graphene follicle, isn't it? When it will happen during the ovulator phase, isn't it? What will happen exactly during ovulator phase? both FSH and LH attains the peak level in the middle of the cycle, that is about 14th day. Rapid secretion of LH leading to its maximum level during the mid-cycle, called LH surge, that induces the rupture of graphene follicle and thereby the release of the ovum into the uterine tube is called ovulation. Isn't it? Yes. The next question. Yes. Here we should identify which is true about cytoplasm. The cytoplasm, you just observe the diagrammatic representation of the both ovum and sperm, then only you can easily identify. The ovum is generally greater, isn't it, or larger than sperm. At the same time, the cytoplasm of the ovum is also greater or larger than the sperms, isn't it? Compared to the ovum, sperms are very small. Next question, this is also related to the gametogenesis. A secondary oocyte undergoes second meiosis to form. That's what I said during the process of that is oogenesis. I told you beginning from the egg mother cell, it is undergo multiplication phase, it gives rise to the 4 oogonia, then oogonia, the primary oocyte. What will happen? Then the primary oocyte will be gives rise to the secondary oocyte. The secondary oocyte will give rise to the one ovum and one polar body, isn't it? Yeah. So okay, let it be. Next class we will continue the remaining questions. Thank you. So, and yesterday actually all the students not yet submitted the test papers, solved questions. I hope within the evening today you should submit both these competitive questions as well as the test paper also. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.